I'm up the hill to the first corner. Quartararo has got, knows that, everybody knows that, the Ducati so strong previously here in the Red Bull Ring, although previous circuit store for one of the two flying Frenchmen in this 2021 MotoGP World Championship.
The grid will make its way off now. The riders prepare. We're getting closer and closer. Andrea Dovizioso. Last year's Grand Prix of Styria was an absolute thrill. Who he won his Moto3 championship with back in 2018. A 23-year-old from... He just seems so calm and relaxed in MotoGP at the moment. Here's your front row point lead, fighting the world champion Joan Mir and the Ducati boys. Two of them indeed gone for the soft rear tyre, Pecco Bagnaia, and on pole position here then, Jorge Martin, number 89.
Ducati's Jorge Martin on the front row with fellow Ducati rider Pecco Bagnaia and world championship leader Fabio Rowe in 8th place. Brother Alex Marquez 3 places further back in 11th. The returning Dani Pedrosa. Valentino Rossi starts 17th with Cal Crutchlow also back in MotoGP action.
21, and the job was to try and stay in contention of the World Championship leader Fabio Quartararo. Championship looks heading into the 10th round and kick-starting the second half of the World Championship. The man there as we head into round 10 and the second half of this season.
Can El Diablo deny Ducati? He's going to get an intervention from the rain. Will it be flag to flag? Valentino Rossi, of course, the big pre-weekend for life. Whatever is the next chapter and adventure for the 42-year-old, we all...
As we move forward, as we try and get to some sort of normality, thank you to everyone that's braved the weather.
Without picking out Andrea Dovizioso as a real serious race-winning contender. That front row that's gone with that soft rear tyre.
Everyone activating their 28 laps here at the Red Bull Ring coming up. Lights out and away we go. A good start from Pecco Bagnaia.
Fabio Quartararo was looking for, I think that was Aleix Espargaro mid-pack, who had a big moment coming out of turn 1.
Aaron Marquez side by side, wide from Martin as well. Oh, it's a bit messy through turn 3. Good start from Maverick.
To make 9th to 6th place. Missing out was Johan Zarco. He's going the wrong way. He's struggling to keep himself in
8th. Miller did not get away well. He's down to 9th ahead of Taka Nakagami.
Oh, Marquez aggressive towards the Ducatis ahead of him.
Here comes Joan Mir as well, and Maverick Vinales also going through on Fabio.
Frenetic and frantic action already here in Austria. Pecco Bagnaia, though, it is that will lead the way. Joan Mir's got it.
Of Jorge Martin as he'll try and bite back and get second place back. He does on Joan Mir. Can Mir get it? Who was that going wide?
Was it Nakagami?
Yes.
Somebody was really wide. It looked like the LCR Honda man who started in. He's going to lose a place to Jorge Martin and to Marc Marquez as well. Rare mistake from the world champ.
Quartararo picks them off while they're napping as well.
Yeah, I don't know whether Quartararo picked up Mir and then Mir just had nowhere.
You though, the ruthlessness of Joan Mir, it really does. He does not care one jot who it is.
No, he packs a punch.
And it's Bagnaia who leads from Martin, with Quartararo now up into 3rd again. Mir in 4th, then Vinales. Dani Pedrosa's made a good start. Number 26 is in 12th place at the moment. He is the leading KTM.
Who's gone
Dani
down?
Pedrosa, just as we said it, I think Dani Pedrosa's race has come to an end already. Something's happened to down there. Is that Savadori as well? What's happened here?
This is a red flag.
This has got to be
no
a
question.
red flag.
Red flag. Something's going on here between Aleix Espargaro
I think
and Marc
Aleix
Marquez
Espargaro
as
is
well.
saying that the same thing has happened as well. I've got a feeling, Matt, that Savadori's crashed in his bike or something. He's gone steaming up.
Pedrosa up. Not the way he was hoping to return to MotoGP on a
Lorenzo
wild card.
Savadori, we hope.
And Morbidelli when, of course, the miracle escapes for Vinales and Rossi, and yet again with Pedrosa and...
Wow, what has happened here? I mean, we saw...
Well, this is a humongous...
Everyone just coming back into pit lane, but it's another incident at turn 3 that has brought a red flag out.
KTM, and then fuel tanks ruptured.
Savadori was on his feet initially.
Halfway through his 2-year contract with Yamaha. Seems like he's 100% on his way to a take 2.
Lynn Jarvis there, anxious. If you do not make it out within 60 seconds, that is it.
Yeah, well,
you're in trouble.
They've had firing back up in pit lane, and there is the green light and the green flag. So the pit lane out onto the grid, just as a precautionary measure, just to make sure that if there are any mechanical problems, or quickly move off the grid, and then we'll be back underway for a 27-lap Styrian Grand Prix.
Diablo, the World Championship leader, take 2 in Styria. That's not the first time we've said that.
No. Of course, to keep Ducati's golden winning record going, here in Austria. We get to do it all over again though, after to have 60 seconds to leave the pit lane, and then there is one mechanic permitted per rider on the grid. Depart the grid and we will be back underway.
It's going to start again as a drive. What's happened then? So there you see the crash. Oh my word!
10 riders that came through behind him, and then Lorenzo Savadori, as we suspected, just arm goes up from Jorge Martin's mechanic there, signalling their man back to pole position for the second time today. And they will quickly make their way off the grid, and we're going to be back underway. 27 laps then.
We're ready to go again. A full grid. And the warm-up
Vinales arm up.
Disaster.
He's got to start from pit lane now.
So he wheels off into pit lane.
So Maverick Vinales stalls it on the grid ahead of Styria 2 2021. Not catch a break, can he?
Oh, he's being allowed to head out for this warm-up lap.
Well, it'll be the back of the grid, won't it?
This is already just about exiting pit lane. They're going to be waiting a little bit of a while here. Released. Was he not supposed to be released?
Well, he saw the green light was on, but
that's it,
yeah.
Okay, Vinales will start the race from pit lane then. Goodness me. Position alongside him, Pecco Bagnaia and the World Championship leader, Fabio Quartararo. They will on the lights. Out they go. Good start again for the Ducati.
Marquez
again.
Marquez and Aleix Espargaro. This time the nudge even bigger. Marquez into the turn 3 up the inside of Jorge Martin.
Oh, it's all happening there. There was contact from teammates there from KTI. Then in fourth, ahead of Quartararo and Johan Zarco.
Marquez officially off Aleix Espargaro's Christmas
already. The Suzuki man.
Nothing wrong with that new rear ride height device off the line, is there? So then, just inside the top 10 when the red flag came out. Styria take 2 though, and he's taking full advantage. Pecco Bagnaia
here of take 2 in Styria, and it is Milo leads from Martin and Mir. It's the 3 M's.
Oh, he's hammered into Aleix Espargaro twice at turn 1, and now this time it looks like
error. That looks like as well. Paul Espargaro then through by Marc Marquez, who's now dropped down to 14th place.
There's been some Ducati rider.
Now, keep your eyes on 93. Keep your eyes on 41, Aleix Espargaro, and Quartararo apparently was worse than that.
Yeah.
I think it was more cheeky. That's more of a racing incident.
That was just Marquez running out of the room, didn't it, on the inside? But
bunching up, Zarco included at the back of this leading quintet, if you like. Miller, Mir, Martin.
Forward from Mir to Miller, and then looking back from Miller to Mir.
What's happened to Bagnaia, Matt? He's dropped behind the 2 LC.
He was leading before the red flag came out. Now then, Jorge Martin using that Ducati power to find a way. Quartararo, Zarco, number 5, P5. They all drop that right leg into that heavy braking zone down the hill.
It's as you were, Jack Miller leading from Martin and Mir.
Marc Marquez, after his problems at the first,
brought out the red flag earlier. Danny Pedrosa 15th, just behind the 2 Repsol Hondas, of course, the team he used to race for.
Now this is where that new rear ride height device will come into its own for Suzuki. Perfect time to ride on board with Red. It will be vital here. That low gear, first corner now. This is
Martin, sorry Matt, Martin is
really good battle there, raging between the top 2 men in the championship, the 2 Frenchmen. Blur on blur.
Her name just went tumbling down. I don't know if that's a transponder issue. There's Zika Lekawona just ahead of Marc Marquez inside of Nakagami. And he was going to hit into the back. He was never going to get that stop, Marc Marquez, and he had to sit it up.
And the 8 times world champion. He's had his dramas. Alex Marquez there in the background coming down through turn 9, 6.
He's closing on these guys. He's closing. A 24.5 from Jorge Martin. That is the best. But Nakagami tends to come on strong in the closing stages of races. He did that here last year.
I'd love to place back on Lekawona at turn 3. On that last lap, Bagnaia did a 126 flat.
That would look like they've gone up in smoke already. Brad Binder as well. A very, very good start for him. He's going forwards. Here is Valentino Rossi. He's got a couple of Italians around him at the moment. Enea Bastianini.
Aprilia man. A couple of contacts from Marc Marquez in the first corner. Now then, Jorge Martin here with Grand Prix, just a thousandth of a second quicker than the man ahead of him. Aleix Espargaro's awful after an excellent qualifying in 7th.
No Aprilia left in the race. It is, as it stands, Espargaro's just dropped back to 16th, so number 45. Aleix Espargaro's just retired out of the race. He just looks like he's in a load of pain.
Well, he's had a couple of cost him dearly, and I'm sure he's not going to be shy about expressing his opinion about that in his media. I feel like this is a bit of payback for last year if he does go on to win this race. He was so well set to win Red Bull Ring to Nakagami at the time.
up the hill towards turn 3 and goes into 3rd place.
How many times have we seen that in Austria? A Yamaha outlet just using that poke of the Ducati over the crest, out of 3 and then down into turn 4.
In fact, has to get through because the gap to the front boys now is a second.
And this is where the Yamaha will work better than the in this section. Otherwise, he's leaving himself wide open to an attack in the first corner or turn 3. Not really cutting each other up and carving each other up. They're able to just keep their fast rhythm. They've just again exchanged.
Okay, so Nakagami now up into 6th place.
And Fabio Quartararo has been brilliant again in second. Now then, has Quartararo broken Miller and Zarco? He's got to now use the corner speed of the Yamaha.
I've got nothing at the moment for Martin and Mir in terms of his speed, so Quartararo with work to do. World Championship in Moto3 2017, Martin won it in 2018 there. Huge.
A long lap penalty would really rub salt into his wounds, having stalled it on the line. Having to start from pit lane.
Here's Paolo Campinotti going to get his hands on a winner's trophy. Here we are on board with the Suzuki of Juan, but they've got a lot of work on because keeping Juan Mir at bay for 19 more laps is going to be...
Pecco just cannot get on his case at all. The gap is just 0.4 of a second, but
a little peek further back through the order behind Marquez and Nakagami. Rins is through on the KTMs, so
he's more than capable and comfortable leading in MotoGP despite his lack of experience. Red Bull Ring right behind him as well.
18 laps to go. They're pretty happy with how Suzuki has given them quite clearly a few extra tenths that they needed to contend for a race win.
A bit further back there, Nakagami and Marquez are starting to be reeled in by Alex Rins,
who's not able to get through on Pecco Bagnaia as yet. Here are the 2 LCR riders. Nakagami then has
a long lap penalty, didn't he, for track limits in Aston 6 weeks ago. Polispargo, Nakagami, Vinales.
In Gigi Dall'Igna with no factory Ducati on the podium, but with Jorge Martin winning 12th here.
Shocking slump, did not see that coming at all, particularly as he got away full offline. Talking about flag first in Moto2 here last year, and then had that win scrubbed off for himself, exceeding track limit on the last lap.
And hope that the rookie Martin somewhere maybe slips up.
But it never happened in Doha, did it, Lee? But Bastianini, that's going to be tight. There wasn't a lot of room there, if any room at all. He just squeezes out Iker Lecuona.
Back time in. It was looking like an early bath, wasn't it, earlier on? And now Bastianini, so often he does
mention as well that while Lorenzo Savadori was eligible to restart this race, he didn't, I guess, in too much pain.
A place behind Polispargaro. Pit Byra there, not the day that I'm sure they were all hoping for. On
team is really, really strong in the first 2 sections, and then Mir takes all that time back with the corner speed of the Suzuki in second. Martin, he did not buckle under pressure in Doha. It was just, as we mentioned, the inexperience of time on. But Martin resisting.
Oh, I tell you, Martin is going to be getting a track limits warning shortly.
Yeah, there's small margins, but nobody knows how much that can prove costly than Jorge Martin last year. Alex Rins now.
Chisahara, the project leader, to his left. Ken Kawauchi with his magic
news. When you think about what happened to Maverick Vinales in both Austria races last year, he will not be looking forward to Martin, isn't he?
He really is. Martin is doing a splendid job
this would
out
be
front.
Unbelievable to keep Ducati's great winning record going here in Spielberg. But Jorge Martin.
We are then looking on board with Fabio Quartararo in 3rd place. He won't mind this.
Oh, there's been a couple of times this year, Steve, where we've spoken to him post-race and he said that podium felt like a win. This will few podiums here. Jorge Lorenzo 2016 and Fabio Quartararo in 2019.
Has he just not got enough energy left?
Well, yesterday, Steve, he had that big crash, didn't he? A real shame because he was working incredibly hard to keep himself inside the top 10. Yesterday, he said on his right arm, the triceps and the forearm to compensate, and of course that was fatiguing then quickly.
Go. And no sign of Jorge Martin buckling under any pressure from the world.
You can just see there in the background, Johan Zarco. He hasn't got the pace at the moment to go with Quartararo going the way of Bastianini. So the long lap about to become very busy. Yeah, excruciating agony with that right hand.
Yeah, a real shame for Miguel going immediately to that right hand. I'm sure we'll pick the bones out of that at some point. And now Bastianini then, who's worked so hard to climb up to 12th. He could be destination top 10 here.
Don't mention track limits to Enea Bastianini.
I mean, any news regarding the reason behind the retirement for Miguel?
guys.
That's definitely a good enough reason.
Yeah, no wonder he pulled in.
Different tyre combos here for the couple of riders. Changed their tyre decisions in between the red flag.
Hardest compound front tyre, but he felt like even the hard here this weekend was too soft to suit the K. Was the sharp end of a Motogp race.
This is where we're at then. We've got Martin and Mir fighting.
Martin and Mir, this is all just about Miller now, focusing on the attack on Fabio Quartararo.
Quartararo said yesterday, we're so often so close to the green here, it's the easiest track on the calendar. That'll be a boost for him if he can return from the summer break with a podium.
This will feel like a
down the hill into turn 4.
Now, this is where the Yamaha will be stronger. We've seen it throughout the weekend. They lose here, of course, is what they will gain on the horsepower, the drag race out of turns 1 and 3. That's been relentless from Mir behind him. So he's got to be precise.
This is where it came, and he will have known as well. That gave him a right shake-up. Up the hill we go. Martin, no, still in control. 6/10 clear.
That looks like the biggest gap it's been. Drive on the exit, because in that first sector, Martin was just able to find a couple of tenths.
Means that even though Ducati's top speed advantage is far greater, it takes them so long to march. Yamaha improved and Miller's gone down chasing the podium. That may well be world champion.
What was going on there, you know, he knows that sector 3 is where the Yamaha was just
carrying maybe a bit too much corner speed, and that's 2 crashes in the last 2 races for Miller.
And that's quite a comfortable gap there now for Fabio Quartararo. 2 seconds back to his fellow Frenchman. 2 men on circuit quicker than him, and that was the 2 top men, Martin and Mir. At one stage, though, he was
here for frustrated Miller, who enters pit lane.
I just wanted to point out here in the top 7, 6, 7.
Frustrated with himself, he's furious as Jack Miller chasing the podium and down and out. There's a long Alex Marquez. Meanwhile, out front, 8 laps to go, and it's 7.
It was already 56 points adrift of Fabio Quartararo going into this Austria race. He's livid, he knows. Turn 7, unlucky number 7 for Jack Miller.
Disappointed.
Yeah, and what's that's done, it's given Fabio Quartararo quite a comfortable ride.
Martin is carrying the hopes of Ducati on his shoulders. There's no factory Ducati at the moment. He's always had a touch of class, the 23-year-old, and Paolo Campinotti now. He's been very, very
independent team rider. It's not done yet. There's still 7 laps to go here in Spielberg.
Is he saving himself? Is he on the absolute limit as he keeps a beady eye on the parameter? Here's a replay of these guys trying to stop their mean machines, braking from 312.
Get a few more fingernails as well. This is why it's
all weekend. Zarco,
yeah,
he's got another top 5 on the cards here.
We'll go up to 37.
It's looking like being the first top 6 of the season for Nakagami. Rin
at turn 3, I was just about to say that again they did the exact same lap time, 24.5s, but you can see their mistake in the braking zone for turn 3 cost him a couple of tenths.
Yeah, it's over a second now. When
we just be looking ahead and thinking, at what point does he maybe run into a few rear tyres? There's no fatigue, obviously. Adrenaline's getting him to this point. Can Mir regroup and go a
moment for Joan Mir then on the approach to turn 3? Here he is on the brakes. Yeah, bit 2 versus Suzuki. The rookie versus the world champion. It's Madrid versus Mallorca.
A performance of a seasoned MotoGP veteran, not a guy in his 6th race.
Jorge Martinez could add himself to that collection. I mean, that was a horrific crash that he suffered in Portugal.
To say, if it was this stage of the race, or even like 7 laps to go at big, fast changes of direction like those other 2 tracks I mentioned, which really tire the riders out.
MotoGP win in just his 6th MotoGP race.
Another 124.4 from Martino.
This man on screen knows what it feels like to win in your rookie season. In just a few races, Brad Binder, and it was going to be possible 16th on the grid, Brad Binder to 6th place in the race. Yeah. But this is enough. Yeah, I'll take the 20.
Yeah, he's got to think about the championship, hasn't he, Joan Mir? There's a man who was such an... At the moment, can't race Jorge Martin late on here at the Red Bull Ring. Famous victory, not just for him, but for Pramac Ducati as well. They've been stalwart supporting both Ducati.
We said last year when Binder won, and of course we saw all of these young guns coming through. Quartararo is a change of the guard in MotoGP. We have some fresh, hungry talent. And
just not put a foot wrong so far. It's been absolute perfection, this by Jorge Martin. Pace, he's called it off now, Mir. He's thinking about the championship. He's tried to pressure Martin. Oh, I'm not going to get. He's going to just have to yield to the better man today.
You're looking here at Pecco Bagnaia chasing. Mars is incredible. His first race since Valencia 2018. His first MotoGP win. He's now, what, 39 MotoGP starts without a win, and he was super slow. Answers on a postcard.
Awesome all weekend, and I fully expected him to be at the front today.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, he was in the World Championship as well.
Showan Zarco's got to be a little bit careful here, because Taka Nakagami's got to within about half out, 4 tenths now, and Nakagami's found another tenth of a second. So, Daniele Romagnoli, Francesco Guidotti, first victory. He took a sensational pole position yesterday, and he's about to follow it up with Nakagami and Zarco. He is right on their tail. They are now approaching turn 3. That's Quartararo's got a safe and secure third place. He'll take that job done. A rare Yamaha,
please. Pramac Ducati have been waiting for this moment for so long. Comes off.
Pramac power over the hill for the final time. And Jorge Martin,
Don't call him the Martinator for nothing. Jorge Martin is a MotoGP winner here in Still Like for Fabio Quartararo, who will extend his championship lead, and Binder did get Nakagami.
Costly last lap for Johan Zarco. He came over the line 4th and lost vital World Championship points. A bit of a tangle in the celebrations between our podium men.
Fantastic. What a moment for Pramac Ducati. Paolo Campanotti, Francesco Guidotti there, Daniele Romagnoli.
Maverick Vinales last again, sadly. Second time in 3 races for him. Right. I remember before he was picked up by Fausto Gresini, the late great Fausto Gresini in Moto3. At one stage, then it was over. And there he is now in 2021.
Red Bull rookie champion, Moto3 champion, Moto2 race winner, now MotoGP race winner.
Performance. He did not look like a rookie at any point. Brilliant. Really winner. Jorge Martin, something down to you.
Yeah, Francesco, when I asked you on the grid what you thought was realistic, thing is possible. What do you think?
I thought it could be possible to win, and after the first start, after the stop, he said I tried to go, and he did. So
Congratulations.
Speechless almost there, Francesco Guidotti. He said yesterday he wasn't a long lap penalty, which pushes him down to 11th. That pushes Danny Pedrosa into 10th, which is a heroic 16th on the grid to 4th.
Yeah, he was 4th in one of the header races here last year. Thought he won the Moto2 race. It was snatched away. This was the last lap. Rear ride height device seemed to do the trick pretty quickly, didn't it? Let's speak to Shinichi Sahara after a fantastic second.
Yeah, both of our riders and engineers. But yeah, they're working quite amazing. And okay, now I want to.
Great to see these images here. Fantastic scenes. Mir, Martin, Quartararo
On that circuit today, he could not have tried any more. He's a proper warrior, a proper fighter.